Hello, everybody. Welcome to Roxbury Latin. I'm Kerry Brennan, RL's headmaster. We're delighted to have you join us and hope today and over the next few months to be able to introduce our unusual school to you. All of you are at an important time in your lives. For boys, you're imagining what happens next. What do I want from a school experience? How will my next school allow me to grow and change, to become the adult I'm capable of being? What will be different about what I'll be studying and the rhythm of my life? How hard will I have to work? What school will inspire me to do something great with my life? Parents, too, are wondering, where will my boy be affirmed and challenged? With whom will he be working and playing? Who will his teachers and coaches and counselors be? How will our lives change as a result of sacrifices we will need to make in order to send our son to his next school? What school's mission and reputation align most reassuringly with our own family's values and aspirations? It's good for you to ask those questions, and it's exciting to be on the cusp of the next phase of what I hope will be a thrilling, meaningful, fulfilling life. We are lucky in Greater Boston to have plenty of fine schools, public, private, and parochial, and to be able to choose from among them. Essentially, parents, the process which you've begun is about assessing what school will make for the best match for your son and your family. Of course, though the classicists would say that the fundamental charge each of us has is to know thyself, and I hope that over the next few months, boys and parents will understand what makes each boy authentically himself. Today, I'd like to comment on what I believe makes Roxbury Latin distinctive. What are the parts of our mission and our program and our people that set us apart? First of all, we're a relatively small school. This year, in fact, we're enrolling only 309 boys in grades 7 through 12. Our one promise, if you enroll here, is that every boy will be known and loved. Every boy will be known and loved. That we love you doesn't mean you will be coddled. In fact, because we will know you so well, we will also know something of your potential, and we will ask a lot of you as a student, but mainly as a person. With you, we will arrive at worthy goals and together determine the ways in which you can realize them. Our smallness requires that each boy involve himself broadly and meaningfully in all aspects of school life. Our intimacy allows older and younger boys to know each other, to learn from each other, to challenge each other, and to delight in each other's company. Early on in their careers, boys come to appreciate that an experience that is both broad and deep will make for the most satisfying school odyssey one can imagine. Secondly, we are a boys' school. We're intentionally a boys' school. You can imagine that through our history, we have considered whether this is the best model for an effective school. For the boys in our care, this is definitely the best model. That isn't to say that there aren't perfectly fine co-ed schools and girls' schools. Because we are intentionally a boys' school, we have bothered to study boys, to know what makes them tick, and especially the developmental rhythms that set them apart from girls. Boys, and dare I say men, come to their maturity after girls and women do. As a former boy, I can vouch for the veracity of that proposition. It takes us longer. That's why an ideally sixth grade school allows boys to grow up, but also to grow into themselves, with all the wonder and possibility that portends. I say that there are many ways to be a boy at RL, because boys do not have to adhere to gender stereotypes. They are emboldened to try out new things and to try on new roles. This reality leads to my third way in which RL is distinctive. We are a school that celebrates the generalist. In a culture that too often and too early suggests that young people need to specialize, often in sports but in other areas of pursuit as well, RL dares to be countercultural. We dare to say trying things and contributing to an array of activities are important. Boys are encouraged to sample broadly from curricular and extracurricular offerings. An endangered species is the three-sport athlete. Indeed, each year we have many of these seasonally adaptive boys. We also have plenty of boys who, in addition to being scholars first and foremost, and then perhaps athletes, can often be singers, debaters, actors, writers for the newspaper, service activists. Boys learn that varied combinations of activities lead to intriguing challenges, satisfying friendships, and abiding joy. Our boys learn how to both lead and to follow. They are encouraged to take risks, to try something new, to try something you might not be so good at or have even encountered in a former life. Boys occasionally try and fail, and in either case, adults are standing by to provide the appropriate affirmations and support. When all is said and done, the prodigious sampling of our programmatic smorgasbord often leads to boys developing passions that will form the basis for the rest of their lives. A fourth way in which RL is distinctive is that we are demanding. We ask a lot of our boys, and we expect that they will stretch themselves, that they will step up and give it their best shot. Whatever ambitious expectations we may have for our boys, we are also ready with a helping hand, an understanding conversation, a guarantee to support and encourage. Our one-on-one advisor system matches boys with adults in the community who meet with each advisee at least once a week for 20 to 30 minutes. At other schools, faculty meet with groups of advisees, not here. In the case of advising our boys, we believe that it is a personal, integral part of their growing up, and we believe that of all the roles adults play, it is our most important. Our academic program is rooted in an array of classical courses, especially in grades 7 through 9, when boys have a common experience, and then in an array of electives as boys develop specific interests in grades 10 through 12. We are a language-rich school, requiring 3 years of Latin and 3 years of a modern language, either French or Spanish. Along the way, some boys even elect ancient Greek. And of course, all boys take English all 6 years, enabling them to be astute readers, thinkers, writers, and speakers. As our school has evolved, so too has our curriculum. While I will not go into offerings in each of the disciplines, you will notice courses that reflect a forward-looking commitment to STEM, health and wellness, science and mathematics, history, and social sciences. All of our teachers are admonished to modify curricula on a regular basis. So, for example, we are always reflecting and understanding of boys' developmental progress in our content and pedagogy, but also ensuring that we acknowledge and incorporate different voices and perspectives representative of a diverse, compelling society and world. In all we do, we teach skills and dare to master important content. Most important, boys form habits of lifelong learning, preparing them not just for college, but more important, indeed, for life. Finally, we dare to tackle big ideas. In our classes and in our extensive and excellent hall programs or assembly programs, we discuss the spiritual, engage in meaningful rituals, and examine the purpose of our lives. Why are we on this planet? Who am I? What do I want to be? How can I make a difference? Let me say something about the main characters who enact this worthy drama on a yearly, even daily basis. The Roxbury Latin faculty is made up of talented, committed, effective men and women who not only have given themselves to this work, but also especially to this group of boys. Many have worked at other places before they landed at RL, and inevitably this will be where our teachers will decide to spend the rest of their professional lives. They, like the boys, are also generalists, modeling that important attribute through their varied work as teachers, coaches, extracurricular leaders, and advisors. Best of all, they love the company of the boys in their care. Of course, our most distinctive attribute is the boys themselves, the boys who constitute our student body. They represent a unique demographic. I believe that we are the most socioeconomically diverse student body in all of New England. Our boys are talented, aspiring, and eager to work hard in order that later they will have satisfying, meaningful lives. Our boys are democratically gathered. In other words, we are a need-blind school, a meritocracy. A boy's talent and potential determine whether he will be admitted to the school, not his family's economic status. No family ever has to worry about whether they can afford the Roxbury Latin tuition, as we will always provide whatever financial support is needed for a boy to come here. And we provide financial support for everything else that complements our program, including books and school-sponsored trips, equipment, and counseling. Our boys are kind, considerate, welcoming, idiosyncratic, and funny. We care most of all what kind of person a boy is, and thankfully we have a school full of boys who lead with their character. In part, we are able to attract and retain a remarkably talented faculty and can welcome the diverse boys that we do thanks to a unique financial model. Only 40% of our revenue comes from tuition. The rest comes from an impressive endowment and an annual fund to which alumni and parents, current and past, do their best to give voluntarily and generously in order that we can realize our mission. This leads to our costing about 2/3 of what other Greater Boston independent day schools cost. Beyond that discount, about 36% of our student body is on financial aid. That our school population is reflective of Greater Boston and that financial aid money is impressively available results in a student body in which boys of modest means and boys of ample means both come to learn from and befriend each other. Roxbury Latin boys' friendships last a lifetime. They are a band of brothers. Finally, let me end where I might have begun, and that is to say that Roxbury Latin is distinctive because of our history and traditions. We were founded in 1645. That makes this our 376th year of continuous operation. I have not been here for all those years, but I have for a fair number. Among our traditions is adherence to certain key virtues. For example, we are committed to developing boys who will lead and serve. Emblazoned on our dining room wall is the statement, "From those to whom much has been given, much will be expected." We say what we do, and we do what we say. We are not all things to all people, and we also are not the school for every boy. This is a place of responsibility and possibility. I wish you well in your search. I hope very much that you will decide that Roxbury Latin might make for a good match for you, boys, or for your sons, parents. Much of the challenge for all of you is to discern who each boy is and the school that would match your own family values and realize your fondest aspirations for each boy. I leave you with one piece of advice, and that is for parents to make the decision about what the next school will be that a boy attends. No 12 or 13 or 14-year-old boy deserves the burden of imagining what is in his best interest when it comes to his next school. A boy's input is important, but it will ultimately be a relief to him that his parents will make this decision. I always say that I don't believe that parents allow children to select their pediatricians, and I think that this choice is as consequential. I wish you well. Please take advantage of all the ways we are providing for you to get to know us better. And of course, I hope you'll like what you see. Thank you.